This is a story experienced by my older sister, who is a shaman, a spiritual medium. It was back when she had not long received her shamanic initiation and was traveling across the country for her spiritual training. In the southern part of Gyeonggi-do, there was a village with a name that literally meant the path where ghosts pass through, and she decided to visit it. Perhaps because the energy there was so intense, it was a village where many people with heavy burdens and personal histories had gathered to live. One day, while my sister was running her fortune-telling stand under a parasol, a gaunt, sharp-eyed man approached her. He came to ask about his real estate luck, complaining that he couldn't sell his house. From what my sister could see, there was no problem with the house's location or its energy, but as she listened to his story, it turned out that he had bought the house far below market price, only to find out it was a haunted house. On the day of the housewarming party, his friend, who had been drinking, suddenly changed his voice and started to rage, screaming, "This is my house. I died here spitting blood. How dare you walk in here with your shoes on?" Since then, ominous events continued, such as his pet cat dying after spitting up blood, which is why he put the house up for sale. My sister went to the house with the man and performed a ritual to summon the evil spirit that was nesting there. The evil spirit's story was tragic. He had worked his entire life as a servant for others, and finally bought the house with money he had saved through blood and sweat. However, his mother-in-law and wife had ignored and abused both him and his elderly mother. In the end, after a bitter argument, his wife shoved his elderly mother, causing an injury. Furthermore, upon discovering the fact that the child in his wife's womb was not his own, he fell into despair and committed suicide by poisoning. The evil spirit was furious, screaming, "I will never leave this house until I take revenge on the mother-in-law and wife who destroyed my life." My sister tried to soothe the spirit and help him find peace, but he wouldn't listen. So, she decided to spend several days performing a ritual to seal and exorcise him. However, on the final day of the ritual, the man who had hired her showed up with paramedics, broke down the door, and ruined everything. The spirit had appeared in the man's dream in my sister's form, lying and saying, "Please save me." And the man had been deceived. My sister was furious, but she managed to find the spirit's elderly mother, took good care of her, and began to persuade the spirit. "If you do not find peace, your mother will suffer for the rest of her life. I will take personal responsibility for your mother, so let go of your grudge and move on." In the end, the spirit ascended to heaven while shedding tears, and the problems with the house were resolved. As promised, my sister looked after the deceased spirit's mother until the very end, and even held her funeral. Sometime after that event, by which time my sister's reputation had grown quite a bit, a man came to visit her. He looked like an ordinary head of a household, but he didn't seem to be doing well. He was studying for the bar exam and asked, "When will I pass and be able to make money?" When my sister read his fortune, she saw that his early life was marked by bad luck, but his middle and later years, especially his fortune regarding children, looked exceptionally promising. There, she advised him, "Even if it's hard now, rely on your wife and hold on. Once your child passes the age of 3, your luck will turn." However, the man yelled, "I'm dying right now. What are you talking about the future for?" and left, hurling insults. A week later, the man arrived, dead drunk, and started a ruckus, leading to a police incident. Just then, his wife rushed over and knelt on the ground to apologize. Seeing that she was an educated and kind-hearted woman, my sister was moved. Listening to the wife's story, it turned out that due to the husband's repeated failure at the bar exam and their dire poverty, they couldn't even afford the child's vaccinations and had been putting them off. As a result, the child had contracted a serious illness and was at a critical turning point that very night. My sister taught them a secret plan to save the child. Tomorrow night, go to the path where the Grim Reaper passes and get him drunk. Once he is intoxicated, place a charm that says, "Do not cut the lifespan," into his hand, and run away. Desperate, the wife performed the secret plan with her husband. Thanks to this, the child's life was saved. However, a few months later, the man returned to see my sister, looking like a hollow shell of a person. He said that his wife had left him, and the child had died. As it turned out, on the night they performed the ritual, the man had harbored wicked intentions. He thought, since it's all just superstition anyway, I might as well improve my own luck. So he altered the text on the charm from "Do not cut the lifespan" to "Make me successful in my career," and placed that in the Grim Reaper's hand. He had made a profoundly selfish trade, buying his own success at the expense of his child's life. In the end, the man passed the exam, but the price for that was the life of his child. The Grim Reaper appeared in his dream to provide the answers to the exam, and when the man, basking in the joy of his success, told his wife the truth, she was so devastated that she took their child and left him. The man pleaded with tears in his eyes. "I passed the exam, but it's meaningless without my family. Please, tell me how to undo it." My sister said coldly, "You bought your success at the cost of your own child's life. I cannot help you any further." With that, she sent him away. It was a bitter event that clearly demonstrated how deep human greed can run, and how terrifying the law of karma truly is.